Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and listening. This is Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theater. I'm Lisa Conde, and this morning I am joined by Andrea Ajemian. Andrea is a local producer of films and corporate videos, and she has been working with us at the Hanover Theater since before we opened. She's captured all of our momentous occasions with her partner, Kaz Gamble, who's great at not just videotaping, but music too. But anyway, enough about introducing them. Welcome, Andrea.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we have a couple of videos that, in a whirlwind, you shot and produced for us. Both our subscription video that everybody saw at the preview party, as well as the 5th anniversary celebration video that was there the evening of Diana Krall. Now, incidentally, for all of you listening, we do have those on our YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com and it's the Hanover Theater, you can check them out. But Andrea, I think that since this is behind the scenes, we need to paint the picture for people. What do you think?
Okay, if you want
All
to
right.
know.
So we'll start with the 5th anniversary video. And this is good for anybody who's planning a video as well.
Absolutely. I think sometimes a lot of businesses, because, I do a lot of corporate and promotional videos in Worcester, but sometimes companies don't understand the work that goes into these things. They think that just anyone can grab a video camera and shoot a video.
Well, they can't? What do you mean?
You can try. Let's talk about the 5-year anniversary video. I think it was like maybe 12 to 15 different people that had to be interviewed. Now, normally, if I was producing a video shoot, I would try to schedule all those people on one day and just do all the interviews in one day.
But see, that's not the way it works when you have a lot of different people and different schedules and you're asking people to just do something nice for us. Would you mind giving us a quick blurb in the middle of your very busy schedule? Because who were the people who were being interviewed?
I mean, they were very prominent people.
Right.
Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray and Congressman Jim McGovern and the head of the Hanover insurance company, Fred Eppinger. So these people are very important people, the president of Clark University. So Kaz, I was actually, when the filming took place, I was producing a movie that shot down in Cape Cod called Off Season. So I wasn't even here for the filming part. I was here for the post-production part. So Kaz and
Now Lazur now played a really big role in this video as far as, oh boy, she coordinated the schedules with everybody.
She did.
And that is huge. So like Andrea, I wasn't around for the pre-part. Now we also need to set the scene. And how long is this video that we're talking about? 6 to 8 minutes, right?
6 to 8 minutes. And Nell, is she the head of development?
She
at
is
the
our
Hanover
director
Theater?
of development. Yes.
I had, after the video was done, I sent her an email and said, well, now you can put film producer on your, or producer on your resume because all that scheduling is producing. But so they scheduled all of these different interviews, some in Worcester, some in Boston. And so it took weeks for Kaz to run around and get all these interviews. And the interview process didn't take a long time. It's just running around and getting all of the different clips. But anyway, the video turned out really well. I was really happy with it, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback. And I think it captured that, how amazing the theater really is.
Oh, we love to hear that, Andrea. But it's not just the interviews, because really, from a marketing perspective, we're looking at, okay, so this is a video celebrating 5 years of world-class entertainment here in Worcester and, becoming one of the 50 top theaters in the world. Yeehaw!
Yay!
So we needed to really use a lot of our archived footage that you and Kaz have from the very beginning. So we have Bernadette Peters on the stage. We have clips of different stars wishing us a happy 5th birthday. We have clips of the different shows that have come in. So think about that too, everybody. You have different interviews with very important people, and we need you for 5 to 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, I actually, the editing process takes a while. The shoot on any type of project like this, post-production, which is the editing and the music and the sound effects and getting notes from the clients, that's what takes the long time. And when we finally, we were close to our final cut, I actually cried watching it because, you remember 5 years of shooting videos for the theater. And it's not just about, of course, we love to produce all your video content, but my office is also right behind the Hanover Theater in the Printers Building on Portland Street. And when we moved in, the theater was not yet there.
Wow.
And so I've seen the neighborhood transform. And so I'm watching it going, well, I'm so grateful to have had this work and this opportunity. But I also I feel like even though I don't work full time for the theater, I feel like a member of the marketing team, kind of.
Andrea, you are a member of the marketing team. Let's make no joke about that. It's true. And concurrently. So we had a pretty tight deadline when all is said and done. Do you want to laugh a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, because we had to do both the videos, because usually we have more time for the Broadway series video.
Right. However, as any of you who receive our marketing materials know, things can change at the drop of a hat. And so we wait for all of the materials to come from the tours so that we can, again, insert some show copy into that and everything. And, you know, isn't it ironic? Back on opening night, we had Joyce Klahaywick, who was covering the opening of the theater. And now she's hosted our Broadway preview party 2 years in a row. And I'd say is one of the stars of that video.
She is. And she's great. I mean, she looks so beautiful. She looks so young. And she's just captivating on camera and really loves the theater. So that's also emotional. She's not just there as a spokesperson. You can tell she really believes it.
Oh, and she's a total pro. So when you give her a concept, she knows how to run with it. That's part of that journalism background and she's excellent at her job, you know, so that's really exciting. So I think it's very funny that those events, the Diana Krall and the preview party, were literally back to back one night and then the next night.
Yeah, like 2 nights in a row.
I know. So I have to just give a huge shout out for the dedication of you and Kaz and your whole team, because for the subscription video, my God, I think that I think you did all of the editing. Really, you condensed that 40 hours into 2.5 days.
Yeah, but we were there like round the clock. But
well, you'd have to be.
You had a great idea. It was a little bit long, and then we're like, you came in and you're like, well, what if you switch the order? And Kaz was like overwhelmed at like, he's looking at it going, oh, this will be too. And I go, I know how to do it. And I'm like, everybody leave. And then I just spent like a couple hours. And, you know, because with our editing team, I'm sort of the story editor and he's the more technical, like music, effects, graphics.
I know. So talk a little bit about the music and the effects and the graphics, because I think that one challenge that a lot of smaller businesses have is without breaking the bank, you know, we're all on a budget, how do you have something with a little razzmatazz when you're potentially talking about something very dry and you don't have great footage to go? And that's where Kaz can honestly work his magic. And he's an award-winning person in his own right. Yeah. You want to brag about Kaz?
I'll brag about Kaz for a minute. So Kaz Gamble, who's from Worcester, who's also my fiance. There, I said it.
I know. I was waiting to see if you would admit that.
We've been working together now for like 7 years almost, and he's actually a music producer. He went to NYU Film School, but he has a double platinum record for having a song on a major motion picture soundtrack, and he's been signed to DreamWorks Records and Warner Brothers Records. So when we have now with the Hanover Theater, we have the luxury of we're doing commercials and these emotional videos, and we can use the actual songs from the shows. But with a lot of our clients, they might want to use some song that would cost $30,000 to get permission to, and so Kaz just writes a song. He'll just literally create music that would cost a lot of money.
Totally. And so that just brings me right back to our season of adventure.
Oh, that was so fun.
That was 2 Broadway seasons ago, and we had a great season with some great shows: Blue Man Group, Young Frankenstein, South Pacific. Yeah. And the thing that we all want to do is we all want to be able to tell a little bit of a story or have a little bit of a theme. And if you look at that season, there really was nothing in there was nothing in common. We had Peter Pan, we had Young Frankenstein, we had Blue Man Group, we had South Pacific, right? And wasn't it Avenue Q as well? Something like that. But anyway, I got this idea and I stuck on it where I thought we needed our own jingle. I thought we needed our own theme song. And we based it off of something that actually came up at a staff meeting. John Rossbrook, who's been on this program before, you know, he brought up the idea of different points on the map, because no, these shows are nothing alike. But in fact, if you look at the locations or the setting for each one of them, and it was Shrek. Right. So that's how we got to a map being the real symbol of the brochure and the printed pieces and the season of adventure and travel, and the whole Broadway launch became all about the season of adventure and take a trip. And so Kaz, I came to him with this idea, and the catchiest beat at the time that I could not get out of my head because it was on the radio every single solitary time I got in the car was Pink. Remember that?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And so try and get subscription and subscribe and some of those different titles to really flow in a song is a ridiculous task. But he came back with the catchiest thing that, oh my God, every time I listened to it, I got happy. It started to like stick in my head.
And he got local singers. Dan Burke sang it, and he had all these people. So it was just, he redid the lyrics, and it was very fun, and it was a big theatrical production.
But at a reasonable cost, because honestly, the people who were involved were all resourceful and creative and committed to making this work. And they knew, listen, we are a nonprofit. We don't have a big budget.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a part of this growth, it was really great.
Yes,
so
that
thanks
was
again.
fun. We like doing crazy things like that.
So if you're looking for creativity and results and a timely but not crazy, because you can only handle one crazy client at a time, and that's us, the Hanover Theater, then you should definitely look into AA Films and call up Andrea. What's your web address?
You can go to aafilms.com and find my phone number and email address. Although all the latest corporate videos and promotional videos we've done in the last couple of years, we don't have on that site. They're on a Vimeo site. But email me, Andrea at AA Films, and I'll send you some links from some of our stuff. And one of the most fun things, which you don't think is going to be a big deal, but Kaz and I switch off on doing voiceovers for the spots. And it's so funny because we do this with other clients too. And people will just call me. Like I just had somebody call me and say, is that your voice in the Kids Cancer Buzz Off commercial? Because they don't know. They think I'm just a hired voiceover artist because they don't know we're doing all the commercials. And we just do. But it's so funny because I'll be at home washing dishes and I'll have the TV on and I'll hear Kaz, get your tickets now for the Hanover Theater. So it's really fun.
That is pretty fun. Yeah. Anything else that you've noticed in the last 5 years, just that you think is interesting about how this area has changed, or opportunities for people in the field?
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the reason I got emotional when we were editing the 5-year anniversary video, because, looking back at, the Bernadette Peters clip, and to know I was there that night, and that was 5 years ago, that's crazy. It goes by so fast. But I remember when we moved into our office in the printer's building, and, the road felt kind of sketchy, and, downtown still, it's undergoing a lot of work right now, and it still has a long way to go. But ever since the theater moved in, you can see the difference, and every year it gets better. So I feel so much safer. I feel completely safe working where I work and walking to my car late at night. When I first moved in there, I did not feel safe walking in my car at night. There were a lot of sketchy people, and I think the theater is a big part of that change. And I know that the Mayo Group has put in some nice apartments and whatnot too. So it definitely feels like, a city on the move, and I'm happy to have the office that I have and be close to the theater.
Oh, it's cool. And you know what? It's the whole group. It's a whole community, like I said, that really comes together. No organization is an island. And also, I just want you all to know that Andrea is being very humble, because she is also a rock star in this whole industry. How many different Lifetime feature films have you shot now?
I've been a producer or co-producer on 9 feature films. And in the last few years, I'm right now on my 5th film that's shooting in Worcester. I just got off one in Cape Cod that I've co-produced, and 3 of them have sold to the Lifetime Network. So I had 3 films on the Lifetime Network this past year, and we've shot them in Worcester, and that's pretty huge, because even though they're they're $500,000 budget, so they're not huge, big David O. Russell budget movies, but we're making them in Worcester, and we're hiring local crew, and we're casting a lot of local cast members, getting a lot of people those opportunities they wouldn't have. And that's pretty awesome to be able to do that, and then also have great clients like the Hanover Theater. And so I sort of have this random schedule where I'll be on a movie for a few weeks, and then I'll be doing corporate video clients. And it's a lot of work, but it is very fulfilling.
Well, thank you for choosing to work and stay in Worcester, because you know what? We couldn't all do it without you too. So one hand washes another. Stay tuned, everybody, for more behind the scenes at the Hanover Theater after this.